Today's video is about a very short video about stem cells. You get a lot of MCQs on stem cells, and none of the chapters as specific cover this topic. So stem cells, by definition, need to have two main properties. One is the self-renewal, and another is your potency. What is potency? Potency is the ability of the cells to divide into further of these cells. So based on these two properties, self-renewal is when the cell divide. So cell division may be by symmetric division or asymmetric cell division. So asymmetric cell division is when the cell divides into one daughter cell which has the property to divide again, that is the property of self-renewal, and another cell, daughter cell, which is going to differentiate. And symmetric is when both the daughter cells have the property to undergo into self-renewal or self-replicative capacity. So this is the replication where the symmetric replication which is responsible for the regeneration or the repair of the tissues, as well as in the process of embryogenesis or wherever the stem cells are required. The symmetric cell division is going to increase the number of the cells. Now what is potency? Potency is the ability of the cell to differentiate into multiple cell lineages. So based on that, either your cell can be totipotent. Now what is totipotency? Totipotency is, for example, all of these are MCQs. Totipotency is when you have a oocyst or a zygote which has a limitless replicative potential to divide into any of the cell lineages. Okay? All of the cells of the zygote, as well as into all of the three lineages, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, and of course we know that a zygote changes into an entire or a whole human being. So that is when, because these cells, the zygote or the oocyte, are totipotent. After totipotency, we have pluripotency. What is pluripotency? When the cell has the ability to divide into ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm cell lineages, that is practically all the tissues of the body except that of the placental tissue. So whatever cells are being formed in the blastocyst or the placental tissue during the development of the zygote, beyond that, all of the cells have the power of pluripotency. That is, embryonic stem cells are pluripotent, because the embryonic stem cells are going to give rise to the cells of the ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm. Now similarly, after this, what comes in here are the multipotent stem cells. So what are these? These are the stem cells of the adult somatic tissue. That is hematopoietic stem cells, your cells of the liver, skin, GI tract, and all of the mature tissues which can give rise further to different cell lineages. Now we will read this with an example, because the multipotent stem cells here are the most important for your tissue and repair or regeneration. So these are the cells in the adult tissues, because we all know the adult tissue or the adult cells can be, they are either permanent, that is, they do not divide. And what are the examples of these cells? We all know this is either neurons or the CNS, or these are the cardiac myocytes. These are the cells which are not going to divide. But still in these cells, we do have, for example, in neuron, some reserve of cells which they can't regenerate, but still they are reservoir of stem cell or the stem cell niche, which we say. So for example, in CNS, the stem cell niche is present where? It is present in the subventricular zone. And this is a question. So a neuronal tissue once damaged will not regenerate, but we do have stem cells which take part in process when the cell gets injured. So they don't multiply, but they try to improve the process of repair or regeneration, for example in the process of gliosis. Okay? Next what comes is your stable cells. Now your stable cells are those which remain quiescent for a longer duration of time and divide whenever they are being signaled to. For example, liver. Where are the stem cells present in the liver? And we know that a liver regenerates if the liver is damaged. 2/3 of the liver, 1/3 of the liver is damaged, it has the capability to regenerate. So where are the stem cells of a liver present? They are present in the canals of herring. Another thing, where are the stem cells of your skin present? They are present in the basal layer of the epidermis. Okay, where are the stem cells of your hair present? They are present in the bulge of the hair follicle. And where are the stem cells of your eye present? They are present in the limbus. Limbus is the junction where the cornea and the conjunctiva meet. Now these were the stable cells, liver, where they would divide only when they are being signaled for. There are also continuously dividing cells in our body which are going to take part to regenerate the repoid or reserved of the adult tissues. For example, the hematopoietic stem cells. We are going to study in detail about the hematopoietic stem cell in our later videos. But the hematopoietic stem cells are the multipotent stem cells because they are going to give rise to all of the cell lineages which are myeloid, lymphoid, erythroid, megakaryocytes. All of these cells of further lineages are being derived from these hematopoietic stem cells. And similarly, you have the cells here of the skin and your hair which are being continuously dividing. These are the examples, for the continuously dividing cells, while limbus cells or liver cells are the stable cells which will divide only when they are being signaled for. So after this multipotent stem cell, you get derived after multipotent, you have oligopotent stem cells. For example, after hematopoietic stem cells, you have erythroid, myeloid lineage cells which will further differentiate into erythroid and myeloid. So oligopotent cells are which can differentiate into more than one kind of cell lineages, whereas unipotent stem cells are those which will divide to form only a single lineage cell. For example, myeloid will divide to give rise to only myeloid cells, and lymphoid will divide to give rise to only lymphoid cells. Now, what signals these cells to maintain their pluripotency? This is a question, that what are the transcription factors responsible to maintain the pluripotency of the stem cells that they can give rise to multiple cell lineages? So the answer here is you have several growth factors. For example, leukemia inhibiting factor, you have OCT4, SOX2, Nanog, and SMAD-T4. These are the transcription factors which are responsible for maintaining the self-renewal and the potency of the stem cells, property of the stem cells. So this can always be a question to you. Now there are two more terms which are important for you to understand. One is transdifferentiation and another is induced pluripotency. Now, induced pluripotency is a genetically reprogrammed process when you reprogram an adult somatic cell to get converted into a pluripotent cell. That is, you program the gene so that a somatic cell which has lost the capability to divide will now start dividing. It will become pluripotent and it will give rise to different of these cell lineages. Okay. Now, transdifferentiation is a process. You also genetically reprogram an adult somatic cell so that it converts into another adult somatic cell without becoming pluripotent. So, you are, for example, now metaplasia is synonymous to transdifferentiation for practical terms. So, you convert one squamous cell, which is a mature form, into another columnar form, which is a very, for your level, it may be good enough if you understand that transdifferentiation or metaplasia are genetically reprogrammed, या फिर cellular reprogramming to convert one adult cell type into another without an intermediate state of achieving pluripotency. Okay, so this was whole the concept. All of your MCQs are going to revolve around this potency, self-renewal, and a few one or more terminologies. Let's try to gather some of this through MCQ. For example, which of the following is a feature of pluripotent stem cells? Can give rise to all kinds of cell types in the body except the central cell, can only differentiate into one found only in embryo, can differentiate into all the cell types included. So we know, we have discussed that pluripotent stem cells can give rise to all the cells of the body except the placental cells which are present primitive or in the zygote stage. Embryonic stem cells are primarily obtained from, we can have it that it is being obtained from a blastocyst. Adult bone marrow, fetal tissue, your skin biopsy, all of them are the examples of pluripotent stem cells that are being derived in the adult dividing tissues. Now, induced pluripotent stem cells are created by harvesting stem cells from the embryo, no, using bone marrow stem cell, extracting stem cells from the placenta, or directly reprogramming adult somatic stem cells into a pluripotent stage. So they are being induced to become pluripotent. So if you have any of the queries, you can just drop your queries in the comment and we would be able to solve it. Your next video will be on covering other topics of the stem cells, especially hematopoietic stem cells and gene therapy in brief, which may be required for your further MCQs.